Okay. Fun, by the way. I wish I could do that. I have no volume in my hair.
My hair is so long. Like, it is so long.
Oh,
So,
I can make mine like that. Okay, so I live in Wisconsin. I started with the company in March of last year, so I'm just coming up on a year. Prior to starting ZYIA, I was actually in corporate America. I was working at a marketing firm. I was an account executive, and I loved my job. It was wonderful. It was like kind of what I always wanted to do. And then my husband and I, we became pregnant, and we had my son late January of last year. So we were like, okay, you know what? We're gonna find a really good like daycare, or we're gonna find a really good in-home, and I'm gonna go back to work because that's kind of been like my thing. That's just what I do. So I was getting closer to my due date, and then during maternity leave. So for my job, I traveled a ton. I was in Southern California and New York City a lot, which from Wisconsin, it's a lot of time in the air. It's a lot of days gone when I had to get to those destinations. I was making six figures at the time. It was like everything that I had wanted in a job. I loved it, but what I realized quickly after being with my son for a while was that I didn't want to be gone for days a week, once a month when I was going to California, or really even, and then like the next week turning and going to New York. So I met my boss, and I resigned just kind of on a whim. And I came home, my husband and I had talked about it, and I sat down, and my son was like 6 weeks old at the time, and I started sobbing. I'm like, what in the hell did I just do? Like, I just quit the best job I ever had, and now I'm here. Anyways, my roommate at the time, or my college roommate, so at the time, my roommate from college was posting about this stuff, and I was like, that network marketing isn't my thing. Like, that's just not really how I operate. I don't really know how I feel about the industry. I really, to be completely honest, was very judgmental towards it. And then I finally, after a couple of weeks, I was like, I need to get back into like goals and like something where I felt like I still had some sort of like, I don't know, like community even, or something where I needed to like feel like I was making an impact somehow, whether that was financially or with other people. So I was like, I'm going to cover our mortgage. Like, I don't know why I picked that number, but I was like, I'm going to cover the mortgage and that's what I want to do with this. So I called her and I was like, Ellie, shoot me straight. How much do you make a month? And she's like, $1,800. I'm like, perfect. Let's do this. So I signed up that day. Last month, her check was over $20,000. So I was like, okay, let's do this. I'm going to jump in. I knew, because I have a very strong business background, although right now, like, you would be like, who is this random person? I just got a spray tan for my sister's wedding, and which is tomorrow, and my hair is all over. But anyways, off subject. I knew that if I was ever going to join a network marketing company, there had to be a couple of key things that were happening. The first is that it had to be young. Like, I knew if I wanted to do this, I wanted to be a young company, because I know from experience with people who are in this industry that if you get in within the first 5 years, especially anytime before that, you automatically kind of have like this boost behind you that's going to just allow you to have faster growth. So that was a big one. I didn't want to join any company where I had to own inventory. I didn't want to deal with cash flow. I didn't want to be responsible on the daily for all of those transactions. I didn't want it to become that kind of messy work. And I wanted it to be a product that I liked and that I actually could stand behind. So with athletic wear, I mean, I live in it, especially being a stay-at-home mom. So I tried some of the stuff. I loved it. I think I tried one pair of joggers. And then I was like, sign me up, because I knew the quality was really good. The activewear industry is projected to be like 800 billion by 2020. So I was like, you know what? This is something where I can see the trend of the industry is going forward. The company is very, very young. So really in the lifespan of the company, it's this like momentum, rapid phase of growth, because we're in infancy stages. So for me, I was like, this is a no-brainer for $395. If I can put in consistent work every day and not look up until month 3, I know that this can be very substantial for our family. So my goal is to replace my income that I had at my previous job, which I'm well on the way to doing. And more than that, I feel like for myself, it's been really like the income has been nice because my husband is working a full commission job. He's actually in the middle of a career change right now. So we we need this. And although it's nice and someday it's every month, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just shocked at what it's doing for our family. The community and the impact and the personal development that I've had over the past year has been crazy. And that is not why I joined. Like, I didn't join for all of that. I purely joined from a financial perspective, and now it's completely done a 180 on the impact that it's had. Now the really great money that I'm making is this awesome, benefit of all this great personal development, community learning that I'm doing. So that's just a little bit about my story. I mean, everybody's story is very different. For me, it was a really big jump. It took a lot of courage. I think it takes anybody a lot of courage. But what I do know is that this industry is where people are starting to trend towards, because people want autonomy. They want to work from home. They want to be flexible. And it's kind of like beachfront property. Like, the people who are figuring it out now that this is where the trends are going really have just kind of like a head start, generally within network marketing. So that, and then I mean, ZYIA was just a really good fit because of the company's pillars, because of how young it was. And again, no inventory, nobody has to own inventory. So that was a really big one for me. And I liked that it was a non-emotional product. So for my customer base, if they like it, great, like snag the leggings. If you don't, keep scrolling. I have a private Facebook group, so all of my information is in that private Facebook group. So I'm never, like, occasionally I'll give an update on my public profile, but really it's just that private group where I know people want to be seeing the information. And every Wednesday we release new products. So in that group, sometimes I'll do promos, sometimes I'll do like a live outfit of the day or a live video saying, hey, this is what I wore to the gym today, which actually I don't go to a gym anymore, I run outside, but I'll do that. Or every Wednesday when we release new products, I'll post the products in there, and that keeps customers coming back because there's always these new exciting products at Lulu athletic quality, but a much better price point. If they like it, awesome. If they don't, no big deal. There's no subscription to manage. There's nothing like, and I love all the companies. I think there's so many great ones, but there's nothing so emotional. I didn't want to get into anything that really had to do like with weight loss or anything like that, just because I felt like I wanted to be able to keep this a little bit more easygoing, if that makes sense. I still can't hear you, Candace. I know. I don't know if you're typing either. You can type in the chat.
Have you tried clicking the mute button and like saying disconnect from audio, reconnect audio? No. There should be a little arrow and it'll say something about like call using internet audio, something like that. I don't know why either.
Otherwise, I wonder, Candace, if you want to FaceTime me. Otherwise, if you want me to go into, if you guys have questions, we can go right into that. Or if you want me to run through a couple of the, like just some of the details of being a rep, I can do that too.
I haven't given, Candace has given me like so much information. She's been so helpful, but it's totally my fault because I've asked a ridiculous amount of questions, but that's just who I am. Julie, however, she is just like, I love her. She's just so loyal to me, and she is into fitness as well. And we have shared the last two companies that we've been with. And I don't want to get into a whole lot of backstory, but we joined a somewhat brand new company about 4 months ago. And one of the reasons when Candace reached out to me, why it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so interested in this, is because the company we joined, even though they are new and they are in tons of momentum, they are not on it as far as like keeping stuff in stock. They don't, like, it's literally, I have customers that have ordered products in November that just got them last week. So it's like really not something that's working out for us right now. And we walked away from a pretty hefty income to join this new company. There's my littles. I knew that was going to happen. And so this is something that I just think is. Hi, Oliver. Are you gonna go? You need to go poop. Okay, hold on just a minute, please.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
better than
We are potty training at 3.5 years old. I have twins, and they're just. I'm on a meeting. Do you want to come say hi? Hi. Okay. You're welcome for the entertainment. So, long story short, this is just something that I feel like at first I was like, well, maybe I could just do it as a side thing until like this company gets their crap together. And maybe because I love the health and wellness. I just love being a healthy person. Although I've been in health and wellness for 4 years. And like you said, it is a very emotional product kind of thing. Like it's harder to sell because there's skepticism and there's the science behind it. And with clothing, it's just like, oh, that's cute. I can afford that. I'm going to buy it. And so that's really what stood out to me. And then I started thinking like, what if I could actually do this and like not have to do health and wellness anymore? Not that I mean, he's outside. Can you go tell him to come in? Yeah, go to the door and tell him, say, I need you. Okay. But yeah, so it became this, like, as I started thinking about it and talking to Candace more, I'm like, dude, I would really like to do this like full time and just go all in and see what happens, because in this awkward limbo stage that we're in right now, like there's not much else I'm going to do with this other company because I just don't feel comfortable promoting products that are not in stock. So she's told me a lot about all of the specifics. I have a specific question about the compensation plan though, because it's a little different than what I'm used to. And I'm going to mute myself because they're so loud.
No, you can go ahead and ask whenever you want. The one thing I will say is that's a very long time for things to go to stock. So how ZYIA is a little bit different is that we're somewhat of a boutique style. So every Wednesday, and I don't know how your company was structured, but every Wednesday we release new stuff. Some of those items come back, some of them don't. So some will be like limited edition. And I from a business background think that's genius, because otherwise you have so much inventory in your warehouse, you have aging inventory, you're paying for square footage that, of just aged inventory. So some of it is seasonal. Anything that people love will typically bring back and keep. Sometimes there is a way, like, so for example, we have these black flames that I'm wearing. I think there was maybe a week and a half time period where they went out of stock and then they came back in. But with that being said, there's so many other staples in stock all the time that typically it's easy to redirect that conversation with the customer, or say, hey, those are coming back in 7 days. I can add you to my waiting list, and as soon as they come in, I'll let you know. And actually what I've found is, because I know we have a date or an idea of when they're coming back, that's helped my customer retention quite a bit, because they know that I'm going to reach out to them right away. And it kind of builds this excitement towards the product of like the black flame, for example, that I'm wearing right now. I have a customer who adored them, and she was so excited when they came back in, and I was able to ship them directly to her. But I will say, for the most part, we are starting to gear towards a spot where we have almost our staples in stock all of the time. So, and if we don't, it's kind of an easy conversation to manage, and then create that excitement around, because they are coming back. It's usually just, and the other thing that we have alleviated is, when I first started a year ago, people could order something, and then if it was on back order, they wouldn't know. So they could order it and process it, and then we'd be like, oh, you're not going to get that for 4 weeks. And it was crazy. But we actually hired the international warehouse manager for doTERRA. He now works with ZYIA. And we have RFID systems in place, which is just a technology basically where everything is scanned when it's leaving the warehouse. So we have real-time inventory all the time. So people can't order something unless it's there, which, I mean, right, that's common sense.
I feel like it's not rocket science. So that's why I'm so frustrated with where we are. Julie and I both are. And the products are absolutely amazing, and it's great that they're having growth, but I just love the fact that you guys are on your stuff. And I think that a company that grows with their growth is a heck of a lot better 10 years from now than one that does not grow with their growth, because they're going to lose people along the way. And so that's kind of what stood out to me, when she was like, when you are out of a probiotic, you're out of a probiotic. But when you're out of leggings, like, cool, you can pick from 3 other colors or other lengths. So and like I wear it every day anyway. I mean, it's what I live in.
Right. Yeah, and that's a really good point. I'm actually so glad you recognize that, because it is so important. Like, if you outgrow your infrastructure, you simply can't efficiently run a business. And I mean, we had growing pains, don't get me wrong, but we've also done things that weren't, like, we had to take a step back for like a couple days and redo like our entire inventory system right in the beginning. And people were like, "This is crazy," and I was like, honestly, we're going to take like 2 days and fix this so that going forward, it's never a problem. So there was some of those growing pains, which I was excited about, because when there was one, it was addressed. It was addressed to all of us as reps. At the time, there wasn't very many, but they were very transparent about it. And then they would take the corrective actions to fix it and move on. So I felt really good about that. And now we're still only 2 years old, but it's in such a different place. And our owners, our management, our leadership team, the people that they've been bringing in, we're actually working with the national sales director for Rodan and Fields for the next 3 months too. So he's going to be on calls with new reps, with old reps, which nobody's really that old, but it is exciting. Still nothing, Candace. It's okay. Do you want to FaceTime me so I can at least hear you? Oh, you don't have FaceTime. At least you look really pretty. I can see your grid bra. Okay, so do you want to talk compensation? Do you want me to go over like the comp plan, or do you understand it?
I am like a super red/green personality. I don't know if you know personality colors, but yes, I like all of the information. Like, as much as I have looked over the compensation plan and kind of taken screenshots of different ranks with stuff. I just want you to like put it all together for me so I can better understand it.
I'm going to share my screen, if that's okay with you guys. Let's do my desktop. I don't know what is all back here right now, so just forgive me for the disaster of the screen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this. Okay, so this is gonna kind of walk through exactly what our comp plan looks like. So with basically any network marketing company, there is opportunities to rank advance, right? So you can either sell the product. Some people just sell the product, not just, they sell the product and they love that part. They make their commission on it. And then some people choose to do that and grow a team, which, as you probably are aware, growing a team and building a team is where you're going to build residual income. So I do both of those. So you start as a representative, which is, so these different columns. So personal volume is, all of these are monthly numbers except this lifetime personal volume. So this column is cumulative, which means it's always growing. It's never starting over. These other columns, every month, that number starts over. So once you hit a rank, you remain titled at that rank. If you don't hit it the next month, you're just paid at whatever you qualify for. So to hit junior representative, which is the first, and I know some of these ranks are like, they sound so funny, but junior rep is the first one. You have to have $200 in personal sales that month to qualify for your commissions. So basically this column right here is just to qualify for the commissions. And really, if you don't sell 200, you probably don't have a lot of commissions to make anyways. And then to hit junior rep, your lifetime personal volume has to be 1,500. A lot of people do that in the month they sign up. Your starter kit and your gift card go towards that volume, so you're already at $395. And then, oh, hi, sweetie. And then your launch parties, like typically if you have an organized launch party and you start your VIP page, that 1,500 can happen pretty quickly. First level volume, so in order to hit junior representative, you do need to have at least one person underneath you who sells $600 that month. You could have 2 people who do 300, 6 people who do 100. It just has to equal 600 on that first level. And then your total group volume. This total group volume column includes you and your entire team. So that is 600. Then to rank up to senior, your lifetime personal has to be 3,000. Your first line has to do 12. So for example, right now, my team is, I'm an executive. This month we should be looking at ZYIA executive, which means in order for me to earn commissions off myself and my team, I need to sell $600, which for me at this point, because I'm doing it full time, is a no-brainer. It's just repeat orders pretty much. My lifetime personal volume has to be 25,000. My first level has to do 35. I need to have 4 first level directors, which is this rank right here. I love this. I love that they've added this because it requires you as a leader to kind of turn back around and help other people also grow their business. I think that's very important. And then the total group volume is $100,000. So between myself and my team and really the whole downline, that would be the total group volume. So that's how you rank advance. There are bonuses to that, and I'll show you that down here. So this is what the commission looks like. So your personal sales commission on everything you sell is 20%. However, once you sell $1,000 in any given month, they're going to add an additional 8% onto your commission check. So you're making 20%, you make 28% as soon as you sell 1,000. And then as you rank advance, you can see the percentage that you're making on each level of your team, which is over here. I should clarify that what you sell, if you sell $1,000, you make $280. You're making 28%. So your commission is based on 100% retail volume. These commission numbers that you're making on your downline, this is based off of 75% of that volume. So the commissions you make on what you sell is 100% retail. And then everything that you would make on your downline, your commission is based off of 75% of that total downline volume. So you'll see, like, for example, once you hit director, actually once you hit executive, your personal sales jump up to 25 plus the additional 8%. So you're making 32% on everything you sell. And typically kind of what I'm learning as I grow is the reason that happens is because now that I'm growing into this area, I want to spend a lot more time with my team and not as much on selling. So I'm sure that they bump that up to put an incentive on personal selling. And then you make this percentage, you make 7% as an executive on what your first line sells, 4% on your second, 1.5%, and so on and so forth. And then these are the bonuses. The only stipulation on earning the bonus is this $50 bonus. To earn that $50, you have to hit junior rep in the first 3 months. But all the other bonuses can be done at any time within your career. And I think they just do that so you hit junior rep within the first 3 to kind of get your momentum running. Because that should be, if you're working at this as a business, it should be, pretty achievable. So that's what the payout structure looks like. Does that make sense? And then, so let me run over this as well. So this is how I think of it. There's 4 really funnels of ways to make income. The first is your personal skills. So whatever you sell personally, and let's just assume if you're doing this full time, you're selling over $1,000 a month, you're making 20% on everything you sell. So that's the first way. The second way is your team sales. The majority of my check now does come from my downline, but that also requires time and attention, right? Like a lot of my time now is training, it's managing a page, it's doing one-on-one calls. So you make a percentage off of what your team is doing. And then there's bonuses. So this bonus column over here, that's an additional way to earn income. And then the fourth way is promotions and incentives. So oftentimes, like for basically doing my job, I feel like I just earned an Apple Watch, which I still don't know how to use. I don't really know if I love it that much. And customized Nike shoes, which was pretty cool. There's a trip to Cancun this October. Since I've started, I've earned, and I'm not saying this to like brag, because I didn't even take them because I was a new mom and I was too scared to go. But an all-inclusive cruise, an all-inclusive trip to Cancun, and then I think there was a $500 bonus promotion, like the Nikes. So there's always that kind of stuff going on too. They definitely pour back into their reps. Last month, they tacked on an additional 20% on our paychecks. So one thing that ZYIA does is they have a specific percentage of their cash flow that is going to be paid out to reps. And if for some reason that isn't met, if the sales month is a little bit slower, which right now we're last year we grew 830%, and then last month we're just always doubling, so that's not usually the case. But like if we have a promotion and fewer people hit it in the first month than they had expected, any of that excess they're just putting onto our checks. So that was kind of cool. They've done that the last 3 months that they've added that. So they compensate very, very well. So those are kind of the 4 different streams. And then once you hit ZYIA Executive, which is this level right here, you earn a trip every single January for you and one other person. So this year it's Thailand. So currently I'll be a ZYIA Executive. So it's a trip to Thailand for my husband and I in January, and then so it's all inclusive. And then double ZYIA Executive also includes your flights. So really, once you hit this level, it's an all-inclusive paid trip anywhere in the world every single year, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of how the comp plan works. Does that make sense, or is it overwhelming?
No, it's good. It's good. I just wanted to make sure that I was like reading and interpreting the same as what you just explained.
Yep.
Couple questions. So the rank bonus, are those bonuses paid out as a one-time payout, or like once they hit 1,000, do they go in like 3-month increments, or?
That's a one-time payout. So like as soon as you hit senior up, you'll get that $75 in your check. When you hit double ZYIA Executive, it'll be a $5,000 bonus on your check. It's a one-time payout.
Okay. And then the other thing, she told me that once you hit a senior director, right, you can't be in another company, or you can't be big up in another company. How does that work?
Ooh, that's a really good question. And I should know that. Did you look into that one, Candace?
She would tell us, but she can't tell. Poor Candace.
Let me see if I can get into, or text me. Why don't you text me, Candace? I will.
Not that I'm really doing anything right now, but just in case, I don't know. I'm kind of, like I said, in limbo right now. So,
she did.
but I mean, like she had told me, if that happens, it's kind of a good problem to have, and I agree. So, like, yeah.
I mean, and if you want to chat offline, or if you want to look at, like, if you have a certain income goal, I can help you break that down to kind of help you figure out where you'd have to be on a monthly basis, or what some of the steps would be to get there. But yeah, okay, so it sounds like I can confirm that that it's senior director, but it sounds like from Candace's information that's correct. I actually don't even know, because at this point, like, I mean, I've been asked to do a couple other things, but I'm so vested, and I can see that this is going to be a 6-figure opportunity, that I know I won't be able to do this and something else to my full potential.
And I don't want to be that, like, not that I don't want to be like you, because I totally do. I mean, like, I don't want to I just feel like that looks so tacky when people are representing like multiple different things. However, like, the products are a lifestyle of mine. And so if I post about them in my stories or something, I don't want to be able to get in trouble for them, you know.
I think you'd be okay. We actually have somebody, let me look into that for you, but we have somebody who is, I want to say she's an executive. And I'm so sorry for what you guys are saying. She is a Beachbody coach, and I know that she posts stuff for Beachbody. So let me look into it and figure out exactly what the rules are on that.
Okay, thank you. That would be awesome. I just don't want to, like, at this point, I feel like super awkward even saying this, but it is about the money, and then like everything else is just added bonuses. I mean, that's honestly why a lot of people join these, but I know it's supposed to be about helping people, and I think all of that comes with it, but like, bottom line is I need this for my family, and whatever is going to work the best, like, that's what I'm going to do. But I want to be able to give 100% and more to something. And I think right now, like, with my current company being so trying to catch up on everything, like, now is the perfect time for me to be able to pour 110% in and get started with it without having to worry about multitasking and, maintaining at that other company kind of, but not necessarily going all gung-ho in it,
No, I totally get it. And there's nothing wrong with saying that right now, like the motive is money, because I do appreciate people who are like, I do this because I want to help people, but like you could go volunteer. So like, you know, like there's obviously some sort of financial impact that we're all looking to make. And as you get deeper into it, you're like, oh, like there's also all of these other great benefits. At least that's how I was. But I was the same exact way. So don't ever feel like shy about sharing that, because it's normal, right? Like that's what we do. You have to.
I feel like the other people, I'm like, you're lying. You want it for the money. Okay, one of my other questions was refund policy. I think we touched on how simple it was, Candace, but we didn't talk a whole lot about how that necessarily works. So like, if somebody gets a wrong size in something, do they send it back? Do they have the ability to send it back in that same exact box? Do they pay for their own shipping to send it back and then get reimbursed? How exactly does that process work?
Yeah, so this is, let me show you. I'm going to screen share again really quickly. And I will just log you into my back office. And it is, yes, it's very simple. So it's a 30-day exchange, return, no questions asked policy. So really what you do is you go to place an order, and then returns, and then you just do a new pending return and you enter in the order number. It populates, everything that was on that order populates, and you can just do a drop down box that says return or exchange. You can pick one and then put the new size you need, submit. And then what I typically do is just give that number to my customer. They put it like with the item they're sending back, they just jot it down. I always have them send it back in the same exact bag that they got it in. They do pay, I typically pay $3 to send it back. The customer is responsible for sending it back, but then whatever is shipped from the warehouse, like in the case of a return, they don't pay anything for. At first I was a little bit, to be honest, I was a little bit weary, but I was like, oh, I don't want to have to pay for shipping back. It's never been a problem. And for my best customers, sometimes I'll cover it for them.
Okay, that was one of my other questions was, are we allowed to, in my previous company, before the company I'm with now, we were allowed to do our own types of promos. So like if I wanted to give somebody $25 off of their order, I could. Are we allowed to do that outside of just you maybe PayPaling them for shipping, or are there any stipulations on that?
You can do whatever you want. The only thing you can't do is markup, obviously, because that's illegal in the United States. But you can do anything that you want, and I typically do it through PayPal, Venmo. You can go into the back office and buy gift certificates. So you could purchase a gift certificate. Actually, it's a different way to purchase it, which is easy, which you don't need to worry about now. But for example, these are all ones that I have purchased, and then it says redeemed, yes or no. You can give them the gift card. We now have gift card codes for shipping. So if it is a shipping thing, you could just give them that gift card code, and then there's no other transaction. But typically if I'm doing like $10 off your order for like some sort of promo, I'll just Venmo the person back that $10. So we don't have like complete independent authority to do that stuff within the system, just simply because it'd be too messy. But you can do whatever promos you want. I think that they ask not to be very public about is the starter kit's $395. You can't do any promos on the starter kit, but if it's like your best friend and you want to do something under the table, you can do that. You just can't ever be like public about it. But as far as like $10 off your leggings, yeah, you can put that in your VIP group. You can post it, make graphics, whatever.
And I'm just thinking like it's great for customer retention. It's great to get new people in, and it's really great on your taxes for write-offs. So all of the above. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm excited.
All of the gear that I purchase, I write off. So I have a folder back here. I'll actually show you really quick. We don't, it's a disaster because we haven't seen our tax guy yet. But when you purchase something, you get a packing slip like this. And so whenever I purchase stuff, I always write it off because I consider my clothes my employees. Like anything I wear out and about, it's business. I mean, because people ask about it, so it's a marketing tool. So I write everything off.
I love it. Write-offs are the best.
I know. And I
Okay.
need a little better versed on everything I can write off. So I don't know that exactly yet, but I'm needing to figure that out shortly.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I had any more questions, which I'm sure I probably do, Candace, sorry, because I'll be blowing you up. But I think that was it.
Honestly, oftentimes, and I'm not just saying this, of course I want you to try this opportunity. It's amazing. But at the end of it, like, you can do whatever you want, right? There's a ton of good companies out there and you have to find your best fit. But I will say the most successful reps that have joined my team have had a lot of questions.
Thank you. I'm just like, I think, I don't know. I was telling Candace yesterday, fear is kind of set. I'm like a go-getter. Like I will work my tush off if I know that I have a goal in sight. Like if that visual is there, I'm all about like a dream board and setting goals and personal development. Like I'm all about it. However, when I made this decision in November to switch to the company that I'm with now, it didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to. And so like this time around, I'm having a little bit of fear set in and just like, oh, what do I do? That's a pretty hefty investment. But I just like, I can't help but think that just because it's different and like something that Candace said to me yesterday about it being a breath of fresh air and just something exciting and new, like I went to the gym today and was like, I can't wait to wear my ZYIA leggings and I'm not even ordered yet. So I'm excited about it. I think that, I mean, I don't have a huge fitness necessarily following, but I just love the way that you guys work things. I love that it's a pop-up boutique. I love that you guys get new products in every Wednesday. I love the excitement. I love the way that you talk about the community because that's something that's really lacking here and that I absolutely love network marketing for is the community of just badass people working together. And I just love it.
It's almost scary. Like when I look at some of the people on our team, I'm like, we could do some damage together. Like some big shit could happen with this group of people. And it is. But you're right. And Candace, if you want to, I mean, feel free to check out, I don't know if you've seen like our personal team page, but we have Monday night, we have a half-hour Rip It call that people come on if they can. We have different people like presenting. Sometimes it's just like open forum, like what's going on. We have a Thursday morning call that's actually led by Ellie, who's my upline. Ellie holds the highest rank in the company. She's the one her check. We're like best friends, and I was like, my check was pretty good last month. Like yours had to be pretty good, and it was like over $20,000. And she's like, she came from like literally nothing. She had credit card debt, like, and she's just like, yeah, it feels like monopoly money. She's like, I feel like this is gangster money. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is she leads a call on Thursday mornings for an hour. We have a company call once a month. We have just like chats. There really is a lot. Like some people will like start a book club and it's all optional. So you can kind of like plug in where you feel like it is giving you the best return on your time. But feel free to check out like Candace, if you want to add her to the team page or any of that stuff, go ahead and check it out.
Okay. So last question, how quickly do the products ship out? Like is it like a 3 to 5 business day shipping time frame or?
Yeah, exactly. It's 3 to 4 business days.
So if I order like today, I'll have them mid next week-ish?
You would have your kit probably if you order 341. It's 241 in Utah. I'm thinking it would still get out today. Otherwise, worst case scenario, we get out Monday. Latest would probably be Thursday.
Okay.
But we could probably make sure it gets out today if you decide you're going to do it. Probably pull some strings. And the other thing is, I know, so you said it's a hefty investment, $1,500. So this month, if you do this, if you are ready to go, like we'll get your launch party up and running. Candace is a bomb at those. Get that up and running. Get some sales under your belt. As soon as you sell $1,500, you make your investment back, plus a little more.
Okay, and that investment includes a $200 gift card that I get to spend on myself?
Yeah, yes. And so when I started, this is such Yes, when I started, we could not pick out our own sizes, and I did not get a gift card. But yes, so you can either use your rep discount, which is 25% when you redeem your gift card, or you can open an event, and there's all sorts of like easy how-to videos on our team page, which you can be added to, and Candace can just tag you in that stuff. But you can actually do it, create an event for yourself, and then use your $200 gift card under that event. So pay retail. You would make, so you'll sell 1,000 this month, let's say. You'll make 28% back on the gift card because you make commission. And that $200 will go towards hostess rewards for yourself. So you're already earning items half off.
Okay.
Which for those half off items, if you want to go right back and purchase things at half off and use your $20 gift card, which you get for the hostess rewards because you hit 200, and 2 orders or 3 orders, Candace, but you can do that part. Or you can take those half off items and like use them as a giveaway or something. And you're like when you announce your business. So there's so many options, which it sounds like you have experience. So you get it. You would know how to.
Well, you can treat me like I don't. It doesn't, I'm good with it. This is something completely outside of my like little bubble realm that I've stayed in for 4+ years. But I think that's why I'm excited about it because when I joined network marketing 4.5 years ago, it was like, okay, you need to post 6 times a day, every 2 hours, you need to have 2 before and afters. And it's just like, ugh, it's cringeworthy at this point nowadays to do that because there's so many companies out there and they're all amazing. I mean, they all have amazing things, but like, it gets to the point where how many real friends do I even have on social media outside of like people just posting their crap all the time? And that's why I love how you guys do it, like group and boutique style. But that stems another question, like how did you grow your VIP group? Did you reach out to people via Messenger and just say, hey, I started something new and exciting, yada, 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 or?
So what I did was I posted on my public page. I just said, hey, like I posted a picture of my kid and I was like, there's some big changes. I'm actually resigning. I've decided to start my own gig within the activewear industry and I'm really excited about it. My husband, Aaron and I feel very confident about it. I'm going to be introducing it in a couple days. Just leave your name below or like or comment or whatever, and I'll add you. So I added all those people to the group. And then I also added people who I thought would be interested. And I went back and forth in that because I didn't want to add people without their permission. But I also know that a lot of people don't see things on Facebook. So I just went with my gut and I added people who I knew would want to see this stuff. So that's how my course started, my launch party. I also posted it on Instagram, and then people from Instagram were added. And then what I would do is, so that launch party then turned into my VIP group. I just kept it open as my VIP group. And I said, thank you guys so much for checking out my launch event. I'm going to post a new Wednesday releases every Wednesday. I'll do promotions, live, outfits of the day. If you want to stick around, please do. And nobody left. So now I had this captive group of people who were interested. And then every time that I would do other events, when people would host them, so that's obviously the number one way to make sales is to find people or have people host events, and then they get the hostess reward. So that's their incentive. So whenever I would host those events, I would always at the end say, hey, if you liked what you saw, I actually have a private page on Facebook. Just comment below and I'll add you. So I add people that way. So every time I do 4 events a month usually, I'm constantly funneling people in from that. And then anybody who ever purchases from me, I put in my VIP group. So it just grows over time. That's how I do it. There's so many different ways, but that's what I've found to work.
That's awesome though. I love a good referral system and it sounds like you guys have a really unique one in place and I like that.
Yeah. And it's cool too. Like the other thing that I think we do really well within this industry is a lot of girls. So everybody on the team has their own VIP page, but like some people will do like a 3-minute workout of the day challenge and they'll do a live video of themselves doing it. And then if somebody else does it, they get entered, like they get 10 points for like a legging giveaway at the end of the month. One girl did a book club. So like they're truly, some people like once a week will post a pair of leggings. Their groups aren't necessarily as interactive and they don't get a lot of sales out of it. But people who are consistent within those groups and providing some value in addition to the clothes, their communities are crazy. Like it's nuts how amazingly well some of these pages are run. And it's a couple minutes a day, just consistently.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Candace has seen just in the like day and a half that we've been friends. I'm all up in the social media. I love stories. It's my jam. And I actually posted a status last night that she liked that was just asking like who is more obsessed with their workout gear than their workouts. And I got a ton of, like, I'm just kind of feeling out, putting feelers out there. And I got a ton of people responding to that about where they got theirs and trying to be nonchalant and creative about it. But I'm going to go hard in my group. Like, I'm ready to, if I do something, like, I'm hitting the ground running. So,
honestly,
prepare.
Mario Kart racing.
Wait, what?
You know what Mario Kart racing is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is how I explain it to people because I'm just dumb sometimes. Like I don't know how to explain it because it's been so surreal for me. It's like when you get the booster in Mario Kart and like you're already like I'm like a badass driver, I'm doing so good, and then you get the booster and you're like that's what it's like right now in this company. Like it or not, like that booster is there and it's just excelling people at like insane rates. And if you're here to do this, you can do it for $200 a month. You can do it for $5,000 a month. You can do it for do it for whatever you want. And there's 100% will happen. It's just this is what I tell people: make sure you respect the business at the level of what you want to get out of it. You know what I mean? So if you want $200, then do $200 of work. If you want to make $5,000 in your 6th or 8th month, then it's all relative.
I mean, honestly, right now, like, I was making 2,500 to 3,000 with my old company before I transitioned, and now I'm making 250. So, like, anything above 1,000 really would keep us on our feet. Anything above that is just absolutely amazing. But like,
we can get there.
Goal wise, I'm up there.
We can tell you exactly how to make 1,000, and then you're gonna do it and be like,
that was easy.
Let's do 1,300. Let's do 1,500. Let's do 2,000. It's so much fun. Okay, so Candace said you have to run.
What? No, I'm good.
Candace has to run. She just
okay.
She's got to get to her little guy. Nurse him. So is there anything else specifically that I can help you with?
I think I'm good. I'll bug Candace later if I have any questions. I'm gonna like run everything by the hubby. We talked about it at breakfast this morning a little bit more. I think he sees my excitement, so I think he's gonna let me do it.
If you have questions, are we still screen sharing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. If you want to see, I'm a very much an open book. So if you want to see numbers or anything like that, let me know and I can kind of show you what that growth has been. If you think that would be helpful. But otherwise, let us know how the combo with the hubs goes.
Okay.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun, Sarah.
I can sense that already, which is why I'm so excited about it, because not gonna lie, network marketing has felt like work the past year. It's one of the reasons why I switched in November in the first place, and I want the fun back. I used to really enjoy this, and I used to enjoy like filling my cup up and then pouring into other people's cups as well, and I haven't had that in a long time. So I'm honestly just as excited about the community and the leadership as I am everything else.
Yay, good. Well, there's a lot of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking your time to share everything with me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for accepting me as I am right now.
Girl, it's fine. Do you see this piece of hair right here that doesn't want to cooperate?
All of a sudden, like the screen popped on, and I was like, I look like a sunburnt, like, mole rat or something right now.
You're good. I promise you. Mom life.
Hashtag mom life. Maybe we'll have a glass of wine at rehearsal dinner. Okay, well, if you let me know, let Candace know. Otherwise, I'm really excited to hear what you just kind of do.
Thank you. I'm excited as well.
And I'll get this recording over to Candace, and she can share it with you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
Guys, have a good weekend, you guys. Take care.
You too.